It's the SawCast, where real people speak that real shit on real topics every day. And I go by the name of Stevo.
And I'm Aerial. We got a special guest today. What's up, Sedric? How are you?
Brother Ced, what's going on, man?
My people.
How you feeling?
Yes, good.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, happy New Year. Yeah.
It's tax season.
Tax season.
Tax
You know what I'm
season.
saying? I know it's a good season for you.
Right. Money making season.
You know what I'm
Go to
talking about?
sleep.
Okay, let's get right into it. So, okay, tell the viewers who you are and what you do.
Okay.
Okay.
Sedric James from Indianapolis, right? I went to Ball State University, you know, the one and only. Alumni there.
Chirp, chirp. Ain't that what y'all? Chirp, chirp.
Chirp, chirp. I mean, some people do that,
Is that for the women?
Yeah, I guess.
How the women be chirping.
BSU Ball So Hard University, right?
Oh.
Tell them.
Yeah. And after Ball State, you know, moved out to LA, you know, that's my second home as well. I like to claim that spot as well. You know, nothing better than beautiful sunny California, right?
For sure.
So now we're down here in southern Texas, living that cowboy lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why'd you pick accounting when you were in college?
So the funny thing about that, I didn't even pick accounting.
Okay.
It sort of chose me, and that's what I thought was funny, right? I went into college as an architect, right? I was a structure. I did a whole bunch of courses at McKinsey AutoCAD, right? So I fell in love with the designing and everything, but I was always good at math, the basis, right? And I love money, obviously. So I took one accounting class with a friend, just for the hell of it. And the professor was like, "Hey, you real good at this." And he said one thing: "Do you want to make money?" And I was like, "Hey, yeah." He was like, "Well, you can do accounting in anything every business has an accountant." So he offered me a student job as well. So I used to grade the test and get that side and talk to the
Okay.
professors, get cool with that, and they just basically recruited me in that process.
Wow.
So that's how I became an accountant.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
I
That's
knew
dope.
nothing about accounting before college. I didn't take no high school.
But it just took that one
courses.
class,
Yeah,
though.
One class.
Was it difficult in undergrad doing accounting?
To me, no. They had a case study that I enjoyed because I just like getting my hands and figuring things
yeah.
out. So they gave us a folder of a whole bunch of files and was like, "Hey, figure this out." And me and this other guy was like the only one to really go through it, and that was first week, and I just fell in love with it ever since.
Do people did you see a lot of people dropping out of accounting as you were going on, or
Yeah. Absolutely. As it got tougher, I think really economics did it because the other courses, accounting is accounting, right?
Yeah.
They can try to, make it difficult as much as they want, but it just comes down to 1 + 1 was
That
always
ledger,
2,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Right.
G&L, right? So it just got probably boring for most people and they faded away. So
okay? So what do you think the common misconceptions are of an accountant?
the boring part.
Yeah, I heard that. That's
right?
yeah, I heard it's
That is
boring.
a lie. It's not boring. And the image of accounting. I struggled with that. Going in. That's partly the reason. If you remember in college, I had dreads as well. I cut them off. Right. I was in my job search, and one of the jobs my first job that I got was a referral. And they said these words. They was like, "Hey, I know he don't look like an accountant, but hire him anyway." No. And I was like, what? So I think that's the common misconception, what an accountant does and what he looks like. And I'm telling you, it's one of the funnest professions you can get into.
So what does an accountant do?
Oh, I mean, we account for money spent, right?
Yes.
CFOs advise on the future, but accountants are more of what has already happened.
Okay.
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 But
So
it's very important because once you submit that all important tax file, right, you want to make sure everything is accounted for.
there's some pros and cons you think to be an accountant.
Oh man, cons gonna be hard, but nah.
Yeah.
The pros are definitely just being money savvy and knowing the insights of markets and how money works and what the big wigs are doing. Honestly, some of my clients have taught me a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm just seeing how they move and how they move, what they want to do and what I recommend them. I'm like, hey, when I get that bag, you feel me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same thing. So I've picked up a lot of trades on that. So that's a big pro. You're around money. You're around that culture. You learn more, right?
Yeah.
Cons would be people think, it's boring.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Or you're a nerd if you do it, but it's a
Yeah.
lot of cool stuff popping in accounting. Actually, when I moved out to LA, right, I was in music, right. I'm also very heavy in music and
That's
producing and stuff.
okay.
And my gig out there was with Universal Music Group, so I got to work
snaps.
on the royalty side of everything. Right?
Oh.
Got to be in Capitol Records, eating with the bosses and ARs and stuff like that. I didn't know they were accountants, ARs. So
Oh.
yeah,
Are they?
yes. A
Wow.
lot of them are. A lot of
Wow.
them
We
are.
learning today.
That's he dropping some gems.
And I've
I didn't
been
know
around,
that.
famous people, and they all want an accountant, lawyer, or doctor. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Facts. Essentials.
when I started learning that, I was like, hey, this is very cool. I even hope my kids one day will
Right.
be accountant, you feel me? So, but I had no desire growing up. It was just far fetched. Didn't take any classes in high school. Knew nothing about it.
So you don't think upkeep is one of the cons? Like you got to do a lot of paperwork and stuff, don't you, as an accountant?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's what you want to do if you want to make
Oh,
money,
okay.
Right.
But you do, like I was saying, you learn from your clients too, because their needs change every year. So the upkeep is just hand to hand, right? So yeah, there's a lot of licenses you got to renew.
Oh, okay.
The e-file and stuff like that. But that's paperwork.
But now with it being digital, is it a little, it's probably a little easier for you to kind of file
when you
all of
started.
your documentation.
That's another thing. The old ways seem a lot boring than what it is now because it's virtual, right?
Right.
I don't have an office, but I have 3 employees and a lot of contractors that work all remote.
Okay.
And nowadays, a lot of people are selling their firms, like the old heads. They'll, I'll buy a book of business, right? If you have an office, they're only buying it at 1x revenue. If you're a virtual firm, they buy it at 3x. It's a reason because these big hedge firms come in and buy your book of business at 3x because you were remote, right?
Wow.
So,
Okay, so what are some of the busiest times for an accountant during the year? All the time, really.
Yeah.
Y'all always working.
I'm like, yo, I don't know when I sleep. So
I don't either. Well, you just said that you didn't have that many cons. I mean, you gotta always be working as an accountant.
lack of sleep
y'all
gotta
get
be a
a break?
con.
I mean, I don't. 6 hours is all you need. I'm a night owl, honestly.
Okay.
You knock it out at night.
I might have insomnia. I don't go to sleep often, and it's weird because, like you were saying, when studying for exams in college, right?
Oh,
we
yeah.
stayed up, and that just translates right into the field because rush season. Your first couple of years, you're going to go work for a CPA firm, right? So they teach you that rush season is tax season, obviously, or end of the year, But then they teach you other rush seasons. You got mid-year, you got extension season. So to answer your question, the busiest time is definitely first quarter.
Oh, okay, Q1.
Right, Q1.
Yeah, Q2,
Sometimes
Q3,
Q4s too.
Q4,
Q1 and 4s. Oof.
It
1
depends
and
what
4 is
type
crazy.
of clients you have.
True. Okay.
Okay.
Oof.
So you said it depends on what type of clients you have. So
Yes,
what type
absolutely.
of clients are like your standard clients, I would say.
At
Good
this
question.
point, I would say a business owner for sure.
Okay.
And I like taking the new business owners, but I'm more suited for somebody who may have multiple businesses, multiple K1s coming in on the tax side, right? But definitely business owners, so I can give more advice rather than just paperwork, right? Because nowadays with technology, if you're an individual and just a W-2, you can file your own taxes. And I always say that, just file your own taxes unless you want a tax plan out of it. But it's pretty simple nowadays with the technology.
So is Q1 one of the busiest seasons because of taxes? You feel like, is that why?
On top of
everything else you have to do.
Compliances too. I mean,
Okay.
you got annual forms due.
You said compliances?
Yeah, every state has its separate compliances, right?
And that's
So
like for
Businesses
business?
for sure.
Okay.
businesses.
Yeah,
business
for sure.
owners. And that's where we make our money, right? Because
a fact.
you're going to forget stuff like that. I mean, then at the end of quarter 3, you got payroll, right? You got estimated taxes need to be out. All the rich folks want their tax plan so they know what they paying up through the year. So, I mean, yes, Q1 because the addition of tax.
Right.
Yeah.
Pushing that.
How important to you is taxes?
Right.
2 things certain in this world is paying taxes and death, all right?
Will you be okay if you don't file them? Like,
Me? I've never.
I mean, you're an accountant, so you're going to tell us
not you.
no.
When I was
In
young.
general,
Right.
Because to me, I feel like you should want your the credit of you making money.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if it's $500. Hey, I made $500. And that's on record, right? So I always say file, but I get it. There's no point to file at if you didn't work all year. Your spouse like that. Yeah. Cool. But I say.
You'll say account for everything, huh? Accountants.
Account for everything.
I would never advise somebody not to file.
Okay, so in terms of taxes, what are like the most important days?
Important days? So
yeah.
415, 315.
Why 315?
What's 315?
Partnerships. Partnerships got to be out so they can get that 415.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So she said 315, 415, what is?
10-15, October, that's the extension deadline. If you're in a partnership, what you're going to do is get that partnership out, and you're going to extend that. Try to get the K1s out before June, right? Just so
K1s?
Right, what's K1?
Saying you talking
I'm talking fast.
No, you're not. You good. You good.
You said K1s, that could go over the viewer's head.
Right.
So explain what the K1 is for us real quick, brother.
Explain that. It's an information report, right?
Okay.
So a 1065 file is a partnership. So let's say a business has 3 partners, right? So they make a certain amount of income. You file that 1065, it produces 3 K1s to go to the owners, just basically showing them the percentage of revenue they own from that business and what should be passed to their personal file, the 1040, right?
Okay.
So that's what a K1 is.
Okay.
And if you think about it, if you get to that point where you have multiple businesses, you're going to get a lot of K1s. And it could just be from yourself, right?
True.
From an S-corp. So I'm dealing with people that got more than 20 K1s coming through, and it gets hectic, right? And it's like, okay, I'll do that hectic work because why? I know you got more than 20 businesses out there too, right?
Right, so it'd probably be a lot for them to try to run them in, actually do the documentation type shit. So go to an expert.
Yep. Leverage your time. That's my pitch all the time.
Do you think, like, I know you mentioned partnerships, you mentioned S-corps, things like that. Those are types of businesses, if you guys don't know. So would you recommend if somebody's going into business to find them an accountant, or do you need one?
Well, that depends on how aggressive you want to be in that side of money management.
Right.
I wouldn't just say everyone should have an accountant, right? Because there's a lot of apps nowadays. I just saw one that shows you all the subscriptions you may have.
Oh, yeah.
What's that called?
I forgot. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
They'll get rid of it. Right. We don't got to do too
much.
Right. Y'all can Google it.
Right.
You're going to see it come across timeline or something.
Exactly. But I wouldn't. It's not for everybody, but if you're in a situation where you're making good revenue and you're paying taxes at the end of the year, come holler at me, because you should be planning ahead, right? Just making sure you're not giving Uncle Sam too much money. So if you're one of those
that's a good thing to know.
Taxes, even if you're W-2, withholdings can be tricky too. When you get a job, what should I withhold, right?
Right.
Or should I invest in an IRA account, right? Because I'm making that type of money. So if at the end of the year, if you don't like your tax situation, then that's when you should consider.
That's when you should go consider a professional. Yeah,
professional accountant throughout the year, right?
Okay. So what type of deductions do you feel like Black people or minorities in general don't claim that maybe they should?
Business deductions.
Hey.
Okay. There's a lot of deductions out here, but a lot of Black-owned businesses starting out don't even have the paperwork in to claim business deductions.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're not registered with the state.
Oh, you gotta be LC.
Yeah,
true,
okay.
You gotta stay compliant. Like
okay.
we was just talking about, right? So if you put that on a tax file and they find out you ain't compliant, now you got problems, right? Just taking care of all those steps so you can claim those business deductions and actually know if you're making money, right?
Yeah.
So I would just say, in a nutshell, business deductions, I feel like a lot of Black people in our culture just miss that.
Yeah.
So they miss it because their paperwork ain't right.
I feel like we just think Square is going to do it, right? So these are a lot of apps. They see money coming in and show them some expenses, some fees here and there, and be like, "Oh, I'm good," And those type of POSs, right, point of sale systems, they give you reports to file on their personal tax return, but that doesn't mean you're a legit business and you're getting all your deductions, right?
Yeah,
that's why I say that might be a situation where you need an accountant to account for what's happening in your business, right?
Right, because I feel like with accountants, just because I have an MBA, I know that when you get an accountant, it's mostly to maximize your deductions. Like find you places where you don't necessarily know. You know what I'm saying? So you won't, like you said, overpay.
Right, and then it's their job to know the system better than the average.
Yeah, because they change, the laws change. So going to that, how often do the tax laws change?
Every
and
year.
Yeah.
It could be quicker than that too. And
I
would just have to just switch that up a little bit. It's our job to account for every dollar spent, right? And then it's a CFO, or if I'm more invested in your business as an owner, right, I might do the forecasting side of it. But it's really hard to keep up with market trends and stuff. So people think that's what they're buying when they're getting an accountant, but no, you're not. You're just accounting for what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Controller is going to control the whole accounting process. There's different terms in that, so just being clear on that. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is some advice you would give like small business owners to like keep up with their account for their expenses? Like,
right. What's the best way that small business owner
if you're
can
making
account?
over $10,000 a month or $100,000 a year, you should definitely have an accountant. Because at that size, you're probably gonna run into tax implications, right? So my advice would just reach out, someone you trust.
How you find an accountant?
There's many ways, but I ain't gonna tell you too
much.
much.
Well, y'all can come to say it though.
Right. He gonna put his all his information at the end. He'll tell you where to find him at the end.
CPAconnections.com. That's all you got.
CPAconnections.com.
Go to CPA Connections if you want to. You
if
making over
10K, 10K a month or 100K a year.
Even if you make it 5K a month, like that still will be healthy. Yeah.
He's talking about revenue.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to bring it to the bottom line, but I just feel like the ideal situation for my firm and a small business owner, $100,000 a year.
Okay.
At that point.
Cool.
Okay, so another question I had is like, from an accountant's perspective, when should you LLC?
Protect yourself, LLC, right? You should do that right away. I mean, why wouldn't you want to that protection? So I would say right away, but you can be a sole proprietor, right? I feel like it's called, and that's just no protection. I mean, that's just scary to me.
Yeah, it is.
Then on top of that, I feel like LLC should now take another step and be an S-corp, right? And I say that because you're self-employed when you start a business, and they tax self-employment gains or income at 18%, right? You can alleviate that if you make yourself an S-corp.
Okay.
Because it's now a self-standing entity, right? And you just save 17% of $100,000. That's a lot of money, right?
Okay.
For sure.
So what is some? Well, I guess we had talked about this before. I don't know if you want to plug any or anything, but if I wanted to look for an accounting software to use, how would I find a good one? Should I just find a free one?
CPAconnections.com.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's the same too.
For sure.
I really enjoy QuickBooks.
Oh my God, I love QuickBooks too.
So all their software is golden. You got TurboTax. That's for the 1040 filers, right? And they even got agents out there that are stealing business from us accountants. That's a different subject. Right? They're doing it for free. I can't do it for free.
Yes.
But ProConnect, if you're a tax filer, if you're an accountant, right? I love ProConnect, right? That's another QuickBooks or Intuit software, and has allowed me to scale my business these last 5 years. Crazy.
Yeah. How fast did it take you to scale your business? Like
10 years.
Wow.
10 years.
How did you tell us how you started and how you got to where you at? Like you can do like a high level.
Okay, right. Quick synopsis.
I was just like, man, I was struggling with finding a gig. And it was crazy because I had good grades, right? They just did not like the image I was pushing. And I get it, But at the same time, I have a great support in Ball State. So a couple of my friends allowed me to do their taxes. And that's when I was like, hold on, I could do this myself.
Right.
I can do this myself. And that's when it started. I got an LLC and got a bank account and been carrying it ever since.
Yeah. How did you find your clients? Like, I mean, outside of your friends. How did you find them?
Right. Is it by like
that's hard.
referral or what was it?
This is being organic. To me, that's the best way. I've always struggled with that. That's why I say
me too, as a business owner, ain't gonna lie.
Decade. I mean, in the accounting industry, they want somebody they trust, right? First and foremost.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you can't just put out an ad on social media and be like, hey, let me do your taxes, right? That never worked for me. So I just been trying to figure it out, but now you just buy a book of business from a retiring accountant.
Oh, really?
That's the
So
jewel.
what is a book of business?
So let's say at a point in time I want to retire, right? Hopefully my kids can pick it up, but if they couldn't, I'll just sell it, right? 3 times revenue, right? So you're buying a book of business.
So you saying
Oh,
you buying their clients.
Yeah,
you buying somebody. So
Wow,
a book of business is
that was even a thing.
so that's a business.
Putting people on.
So that's a business that they are retiring their services and then they're selling their clients to another business.
Yeah,
that's a book
Wow.
of business.
Yeah, when I first found this out, it was in L.A. I went to a church with my cousin, and this retiring accountant was like, "Hey, I heard you're an accountant, and I'm just here to bless you, boo, boo, boo." And he wanted to, give me his business, and he was like,
Damn.
I got big off of just pulling up newspapers, right, and looking at old retiring accountants, and I would give him a call and be like, "Hey, let's work something out. I want to take care of your clients and passing it along."
Right.
So he started buying them. Nowadays, there's a lot of websites out there that just shop them.
Wow.
But that's why I say it's getting more difficult now because a lot of people with hedge firms, right, private equity firms,
Yeah,
they're
they
coming in and
through
swooping
it.
all
Yeah,
that, right, and then reselling it back to us. So
that makes sense. That's kind of what,
hustling.
but that's what they do with everything. Though.
Yeah, everything. That's what I'm
They
saying.
do that with everything.
Gentrification.
True.
For sure. It's
Okay,
just
so
in a different avenue.
Where are some frustrations you've encountered while being an accountant?
Ah, man, frustrations.
Yeah, like what bothers you that your clients do, or things that
Value, I would say.
Okay.
Just understanding what we're bringing to the table and what they're bringing to the table. Because if it don't make sense, it don't make sense, right? And I always try to express in every meeting or finance call I have with them, this is the value. This is what we did for you. But a lot of people just don't care to know.
right.
They just see, okay, $1,000 come through the door. We made $1,000. Whoa. Right. And so you got to account for this, and this. And this is how it reads on your profit and loss statement. This is how it reads on the balance sheet. They don't care to know. And that's why I started the nonprofit, trying to do these webinars so people get more interested on that side of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And has that helped? Has that helped you?
A little bit. I'm still struggling there too, brother. I mean, with me, it's my time. I'm trying to find out how to leverage my time and advertise and give. Because when I start something, I want to give it everything I got, but I just can't.
Especially now it's tax season.
I just can't.
Right.
But there will come a time where I always say I want a job. I want a business, not a job, right? So when I'm shopping other people's books, books of business, I always I'm not buying a job. I'm buying a business, right? If it's not self-sustaining, I don't want it, right? Because that'll eat up my time. I can't do it. So that's the point I'm trying to bring my business at, where I'm like, I can finally sit back and be like, hey, it's just paying me dividends.
Okay.
Right. So with that said, I guess at some point in time you would want to kind of step back, and would you want somebody to run the operations of your business and you just oversee it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And would that change the structure of your business?
No.
Or would you keep it the same?
Yeah, without giving out too much of the sauce.
Yeah.
That'll be SawCast premium.
No, I'm
don't give too much.
Yeah. I've made a good recipe of ingredients where it's flowing, and it took me 10 years, right? And what I'm doing now is figuring out the needs of my business, like the marketing side. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how to make that better.
Mm-hmm.
While the work's still being done, I don't file the taxes anymore. I review them. So
Okay.
and that's a blessing to even say because
Hey,
3 years
facts.
ago I was
You
pulling
still
out
filing.
here.
You
Right,
still
right.
filing. Yeah.
Feel me? So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so does being an accountant affect your personal relationships any? Or
right, because it's time. So with
Well,
that
you
time,
got
you
a lot
don't
of
have as
going on
much time
too.
available. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta have time for that too.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, I love the fact that my wife, lets me do me. Right, I got my own
Amen.
space in the house. Right, if I'm stressing out or we in a meeting and something didn't go as planned, I punch that bag. You feel me? So the worst thing is really been doing is just when I'm stressed out, the house is stressed out. But when it's going good, it's going good. You feel me?
So what kind of person do you think like fits with an accountant? Like
Yeah. What would be a perfect spouse for an accountant?
yeah.
somebody with a vision, I would definitely say that because we're so focused on the numbers and money that you need that artistic side and that fun side, back into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
very logical people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I'm just straight. I don't have too many emotions, right? So you need that, because hey, business is emotional too, right? So and you got to show it sometimes to these
Yeah.
clients to retain them. So I mean, my wife brings that side of it as well. So
And you said so. I'm assuming that is a essential to I would say to being an accountant is that stress relief because I remember you said something about stress relief. So
Yeah.
all accountants should have some stress relief factor
Absolutely.
that they
Okay.
relieve the stress in, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it be a quick thing or whether it be after. Would you recommend them doing it like? I guess you could say right after the moment, or would it be best if they kind of like, all right, they do all of their work and then do it after?
I would say simultaneously. Like I'm so in love
Yeah.
with numbers, man. It's funny you say that because I'm a big gambler too. And this is why. I
Oh,
watch
accounting.
sports and I just be watching the
Probably
stats,
better at it.
right? And
Probably.
that's so while I'm doing taxes, I'm watching like 4 or 5 games and checking my bets, checking the spreads, right? So I think that's fun, right?
Yeah.
And I also
Okay.
like moving money around. So I play the market here and there. There's a lot of apps out here that you can do that quickly, right?
For sure.
Robinhood,
Facts.
what is the other one? Crypto, So you can do that right on your phone. So I always break it up. If I see my client doing something,
Yeah.
I go look at it,
Yeah.
my side of life. I'm like, hey, you make some good change doing that. Let me see what that's about.
Ah,
You feel me?
okay. Okay.
Playing the numbers. So
Okay.
constantly playing with numbers.
As you're like as an accountant, is how important is investing to you?
Right.
It's utmost important.
Can you elaborate on that?
What are they paying on savings accounts?
Okay.
It's like 0.008.
Man, point
And
zero
then they turn
zero
around, put
one.
your money in the market and make more.
Bruh.
Yep.
And then they give you like 30 cents.
Yep.
30
Or
cents
they
for
give
your
somebody
dollar
a
type
loan,
shit.
30%
Right, yeah,
APR
right.
on your loan, your
Bro.
money.
Bro.
On your money.
Yeah,
your
you
money.
only get
And
0.4.
then if you want to get your money,
Zero four.
they're gonna take you through a loop and a spin. Goddamn it.
Right. I mean, nowadays, it's liquidity, right? You can access your cash so fast nowadays. There's no excuse these young kids, us,
Even us, yeah.
these younger kids don't make change off that part-time job. If I had Robinhood working
Nah, back in
at
the
my
day,
mom's house,
bro.
come on now. The way
Crypto with
I was
that.
buying shoes and stuff, like trying to
Yeah,
flip those.
yeah.
You feel me?
But you know what? They getting them,
Bitcoin.
but what did you just say? You just said you also do the numbers. They on the opposite side of the numbers. They playing with because the reason why you go into the other numbers is because of what your clients are doing. They going into the numbers for distractions, for sports reasons, like sports betting and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Because you already have established. So when you doing that, that's like an additional venture for you. You know, that's some discretionary funds that you throwing around in these different pots.
Yeah.
But for them, that is their 9 to 5 money that they be betting a lot of time.
It's all
That is their
discretionary
side
to me.
gig.
Oh,
At that point,
No, I'm saying,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
saying for them, but that's not how they see it.
yeah, you're
You know what I'm saying? So that's why they bet it because they're assuming that they can get more return on their dollar, but they should probably invest it.
And the advantage they have, you always look at the pros. they don't have a learning curve on these apps, right?
Yeah.
You know, I can count money on the floor, but you know, now it's a
Facts.
digital world.
Yeah,
You know, they're probably
yeah.
getting paid and putting it right on Apple Pay.
Facts.
Like
Yeah.
my son
Facts.
had some money on Apple Pay. I was like, damn, where you get $200 on Apple Pay for? It's just sitting on your
What?
phone. Christmas money. Everybody see me. Don't even know he got money. You know,
Wow,
like that. I'm
that's what I'm talking about.
So teach that, and that point, you know, that's a opportunity to teach that person, you know, hey, invest that. You know, just sitting there in Apple Pay, you might as well put it in Robinhood and see what it do, right?
Yeah.
What do you like to play? GameStop? Go ahead, put it on GameStop. You know,
What's your favorite type of investment?
what you mean by that? You know,
Like, okay, so my favorite type of investment, I guess, accounts is like an IRA because of all the benefits you get from that. Is there any type of like, do you like, well, and also I like stocks. I also like that you can, with an IRA, you can invest in stocks, bonds, crypto,
for you.
whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So is there any like accounts or anything that you like the best, or any type of investment strategies you like? Like, you think real estate's better? Like,
Well,
what you think?
real estate is the safest. Will always
Okay.
be the safest. Right?
That's good. That's good
For sure,
info.
for sure.
The best
Is that
investment-
help? Sorry, is that helpful for taxes? The real estate one too, probably.
I mean, everything can help. You
Okay.
It's just what you want to show. Is
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Okay.
Where you want to be at the end of the year. You know, if you want to maximize your deductions, just know you're also cutting your buying power, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
True.
If you want to show a lot of profit, you don't want to maximize deductions. You know, show a lot of buying power. But to answer your question,
Yes.
you know, the best investment you can do to me is just invest in yourself and start business. You know? Invest in yourself.
That is
because,
investment.
I
One
mean,
of the
there's a
best
lot of
investments.
stocks
Okay,
out there.
okay.
But invest in yourself. You know, get an LLC management company. I was chopping it up with you earlier in the week, right? And I
Yep.
was just saying, hey, you know, everyone should have a management company. Just
For
start
sure,
a bank
for sure.
account and see if you can keep it operative for X amount of years. And then when you come into some capital, you might have a, you know, old head like me. Hey, here's $20,000. You know, can you make that TikTok dance and, you know, flip that? You know, but if you have a management company, you can call that marketing. You can call that advertising, whatever you got, and you have it already registered for 5 years, right?
For sure.
That's
You know what I'm
this
saying?
is
So he
SawCast
said
premium.
so he said the best
He give it to me
thing to
gentle.
invest in is yourself.
Yes,
You know what
a
I'm saying?
business.
A
Absolutely.
business.
He said
But
a
okay,
business.
okay. So
That's an investment.
I will say this.
Are you gonna say?
That's the reason why we only have the 2%. Because everybody don't want to be a worker. So what about those people? I mean, don't want to be a business owner. What about the people who just want to be a worker or just want a little side hustle? Like, I guess they could make their side hustle a business as well. Because, like, you know, that's not everybody. Everybody don't want to be a CEO. Everybody don't want to be a business
Absolutely.
owner per se. Because when they think about business owner, they think of the responsibilities that it come with building a brand and come with building this mass organization that has to go on for a while and make like millions and hundreds of thousands. For those people who just want to make a little side change, a little few hundred, a few thousands a month, would that still be a thing for them to invest in themselves and create a business for that as well, like it's just a little side hustle?
I mean, to say everybody has 24 hours, right?
For sure.
Yes, sir.
You know, so do what you want to do with that 24 hours. If you want to work and that's what you want to do.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to force nobody to
Invest in yourself.
but time is what we're really leveraging.
I'm
at
saying.
all.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if you want to work 40 years and the person who invested in himself work 10 years, right, 15 years. So that's just your prerogative. I mean, I like to work too. Even when I retire,
I'm gonna
I
work
promise
too.
you, I'm addicted to working. You know, and my wife has to tell me, hey,
Oh,
take
wow.
a break, you know, and I'm like, I don't
Yeah, we
want
just
to.
having a conversation before that you don't even really take vacations like that.
I swear.
Fact.
But you said being an
swear.
accountant is 24/7 kind of.
Yeah,
Right, so
even
it's
when
probably
I'm
how
on
you-
vacation,
kinda how you
I'm-
hardwired
Shut up.
it.
You
my
better not
laptop.
bring
I'll bring
laptop.
I'm gonna bring my
Don't
laptop.
bring your
That's
laptop.
crazy.
Mm.
It's not going to work. I'm just letting you know where we're going.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's funny
It's
about
okay.
that. I
You
got
can.
flagged in my last vacation, Cancun, right? They flagged my account and I couldn't do no work when I got back
you
because
get?
I was in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
That-
what the hell?
You
y'all
only got
talking
a couple
They hit that IP address. They said, "Hold on."
They thought
They said
somebody was
fraudulent.
scamming me.
They said
Yeah.
fraudulent
It's
services.
the service is
So this time
barely.
I'll give them a heads up. Hey,
Nah, for sure. Hey, goddamn, I'm doing
definitely-
vacation out of town. Goddamn.
Okay. What kind of person do you think is fit to be an accountant? Like, describe the perfect person that
Yeah,
can be an accountant.
yeah.
I'm gonna describe it, man. So you gotta get
Yes.
creative. You gotta be able to pay attention to details and understand them, right? Read between the lines, and just good with money.
Yeah.
And enjoy the fact that math don't change. People get freaked out by long equations. I never did. I was just like, it's more work, and I know you're gonna stop at line 3. You feel me?
Yeah.
Calculus, all that. It gets, they put a fancy word on it, but it's like, I know you're going to stop at line 2 and get frustrated, but just keep going, right?
Yeah.
Keep going.
So,
Keep going.
answer your question, man, just
Is that
detail-oriented person.
Yeah. Is that the advice you would give somebody to? Like, if they like, hey, Cedric, how do I become an accountant? Like, do you think that the school matters and all that?
No.
Or okay.
I don't. Nowadays,
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
It's weird because I don't think you have to go to school to become an accountant.
Really?
Now hold up.
Wait a
Crazy,
second.
no.
But do you think that don't give you a leverage with your clients?
Right, because that's more of an accredited.
Wow.
All the gigs I've had and the best gigs I've had never asked me for transcript, never, and it's based off what I tell them and what I can show them I can do. And I've learned more in my experience in LA than I did at Ball State. No disrespect to Ball State, it was more like a life experience, how to take care of yourself. But when it comes to the accounting field, I didn't know nothing coming out of Ball State compared to what I know now. And that's because the nature of the beast, I mean, like we just discussed, it changes every year. Technology has definitely changed since, I graduated, 2013, 2025 now, 12 years. Whew. So it's definitely changed, right? So it's a lot of softwares and stuff that I would push first, which they can learn on their own time for free. Like QuickBooks. That's
the best.
Become a pro advisor. That'll teach you the bookkeeping basics right there, right?
Let me write that down for myself.
Go on Pro Connect, learn their tax software. That'll teach you how to file the basics, right? And then they have software. You can learn about the vising because that's what people are paying for now. Value in your time. Like, can you save me time?
But I will say, Cedric, like, I have an MBA, so when I was doing my MBA, we had to take accounting. And I will say, like, having those fundamentals do help a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because at least you'll know what they talk about.
Right.
Because I went back to school to learn the fundamentals of accounting and stuff like that. So, like, when I'm doing my investments, I can look at the balance sheets and stuff like that and make a good investment. And I know what the charts mean and all that stuff. So I feel like maybe if you're not that business savvy, or if you don't know a lot of the terms and stuff like that, maybe you could go to school, start there
Can
first.
you find that knowledge on the internet?
This
You
I'm getting
can,
from.
but
This what I'm
Okay.
getting from this right here.
ACP.
This what I'm getting from this right here.
Go ahead.
So some people like a curriculum, and then some people are like YouTube
Hands-on.
University. So if you're more of a YouTube University or a seeker of knowledge, then you could do it that way, right? But if you need the curriculum, if you need a place to
Structure.
go to learn that material,
Absolutely,
then that's
Okay.
why you have to go there.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm like,
Right, I know what
college-
you mean.
College, hey, all my kids going to college for sure.
The experience
Don't
alone.
go.
No,
The
I'm not
experience
saying you
alone.
saying
But
that though.
at the same time,
He's saying
even
if
when
your
you're in
only
college,
reason
you
for
better
going
be-
was that,
Paying attention
you
for
know.
real to
you
get it.
better be doing your own research too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you're learning from another
Facts.
man, right?
Yes.
Who's
Yes,
done it a
sir.
certain way.
Yes, sir.
Even I struggle with clients today. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that was the old way of doing things. We're going this way, right?
Ooh.
So you can learn a lot. On
How do you
YouTube.
deal with your client? Now I want to ask, how you deal with your clients when you got to redirect them like that?
Right. When they on the old, and you gotta update them to the new.
How do you redirect them?
Focus on saving people time
Okay.
in life.
Yeah.
Got you.
When a person got money, they just want time back. That's what you gotta do.
And how did you say you was finding your clients and stuff like that? Like, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard for me with my little
hey,
business.
I should ask you that. How do y'all find? No, circling back on that. That's the hardest thing of building an accounting firm is finding clients because it's basically in the whole old ways is referral. You have to get a referral
Facts.
from a client and
Facts.
Oh.
et cetera. But social media doesn't work for me. I mean, I'm sure it works, But nowadays, you just see a lot of ads teaching other accountants how to do what you're trying
How
to
to
learn
be
do.
an accountant,
Yeah, but that's just like, we're in the same boat.
Right, type shit.
So why would I pay for that? That's just my opinion. But,
True.
Hey, it's if you got capital, you can do some things. Just buy your business. Right?
Yeah, you could buy one outright like that. You saying
That's
okay?
the best way.
Why you think that's the best way?
That's the easiest. It's straightforward. Hey, I'm here to do this.
XYZ.
Right? And show me your P&L. It's gonna be right, and you can audit it yourself, right? So, yeah, you see exactly what's going on. Then you take a bid. But now there's some sharks out there, so
right.
It's getting more difficult. But that's what I got put on way back.
Okay, when you're an accountant for small businesses, do you get their paperwork? Do you receive their paperwork for them, or do they need to tell you? Or it just depends on the client.
Do they present it to you?
Like as far let's say they got tax something form from the IRS or something like that.
Notices,
yeah. Do you take those in, or do you?
Well, it goes to the registered agent on file, right? So
okay.
The notice, and I always if I file the paperwork, I make myself the registered agent.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Or whatever it needs to go to.
Oh, good.
Just so they don't get freaked out. That's
good.
the point.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Notices freak people out, but they really just a
Yeah.
good thing because you're doing your diligence and they're just communicating with you, right? And if they're sending you a notice rather than knocking on your door, you're good, all right?
Okay, so what are some things, I guess this could be the last question, that people are scared of with taxes that they shouldn't be? I think, okay, so one thing I'll say an example, like an audit or something like that. Do you feel like people should be scared of that or should be nervous of that? Or is that something, like what are some things that think your clients be scared about that y'all need to chill, just chill?
It's going to be off the wall, but
Go ahead.
I feel like 98% of people on this earth have done some audible, stuff on their tax.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If my firm wanted to audit half the people, in Dallas, I guarantee we'll lock everybody up. But that's a different story. But
Right.
no, you shouldn't be scared. I mean,
Okay.
you really just think of it. You're doing homework all year, right? And you don't turn it in.
Yeah.
You're not getting no credit.
Okay.
You guys want property, you want to be a citizen in America, you got to file your taxes.
Okay. Yeah.
Do your diligence.
So where can everybody find you if they want some services or
Sedric F. James on social media with an S, no K at the end. Right?
and then your nonprofit?
My nonprofit is basically just everything we discuss, but trying to bring entertainment to it as well. So it's not such as dry material. So it's Be Well, BWEAL, right? Also, that's online, bweal.org, CPAconnections.com. Yeah.
All right, and we'll post that all on the screen.
Yes.
And thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you, Cedric, for
Appreciate
being
you,
here.
brother. And it's a SawCast.
Like, share, subscribe, tune in.
Keep it going.
Let us know how y'all feel about this podcast because we really wanted to do this one. It's tax season, y'all.
Right,
Put
tax
y'all,
season.
do y'all taxes like that.
Do y'all shit right, you know what I'm saying? And if you making that money on for your small business, goddamn, get you a professional.
All right, thank you.